I'm going to talk to you briefly about search engine optimization. Search engine optimization is critical for your website. You've got to get search engine optimization right to make sure people can find your site. Bit of a fact, about 68%, 70% of people looking for information online use search, and about 90% or so of those use Google. Don't quote me on those facts, but basically Google's the game. So if you can get your site properly indexed by Google and properly spidered by Google, then people can find your company, find your information, find information about your products or services. And that's the key to that is search engine optimization. So what Google does is it goes through your website and it spiders relevant content on your site. So it spiders the text and the information on your site and says, is this relevant to what the person has searched for? So if I'm searching for beds, it says, is this site relevant to beds? If I'm searching for financial services, it says, is this site relevant to financial services? So what it will do is it will spider through your site looking for the content relevant to the consumer's search. One of the major benefits of Google is that you can engineer the content of your site to make sure that your site is indexed as highly as possible, as in it appears as highly as possible in the search results. You see on this screen in front of you an example search result. So as an example, you do a search for beds, and what will come up is a whole variety of results on Google that you can see here, and the area that's circled, that's an organic result. So that's a result that Google is selecting from a whole raft of pages that it's spidered and said, this is the best result for this search. Search engine optimization is sort of like engineering. It's about engineering the information on your website to make it as attractive to Google as possible. And a key part to that is the metadata architecture of your site. If you look at a Google search result, which you can see here up on the screen, you'll see that the three key elements that are shown in any result are, first of all, the title tag, which is the first one that's circled here. The second is the meta description, it's the second one that's circled, and the third is the URL. And the basic fact is you've got to get your keywords into those. So when you're building each page has a title tag, a meta description, and a URL. And if you can get the keywords that are relevant to the content on that page included in those meta descriptions, titles, and URLs, you're halfway there. So if you're selling, I don't know, let's just say floor coverings, you want to have the word floor coverings in your title tag, you want to have floor coverings in your meta description, and ideally, when you name that file or that web page, you want to have floor coverings in it. So it might be yourbusinessname.com.au/floor _ coverings. What that means is that floor coverings, the word is in your meta architecture, and therefore Google, when it reads through those, is going to pull those out. So that's a good place to start. So get your keywords into your metadata architecture. The first thing is to understand your customers. Often the terms that you use within your business or that your suppliers use to describe what you do are different to what your consumers use. So I like to use the example of beds, but let's just say that the consumers are searching for a bed store or a bed shop. What you might do is call it a bed outlet internally. That's your internal definition of bed outlet. But your customers might search online for bed shops. You need to make sure that you set up your information around bed shops, not around bed outlets, because bed shops is what the customers are searching for. So you can extrapolate that right across all the content you build on your site. Firstly, understand what your customers are searching for, what terms they're using, what the most popular terms they're using are, and then build your site around and build your content around their behaviour. The best way to do that, the simplest way to do that, is to use the keyword tool within Google. If you just go into Google and type in the word keyword tool into Google, it will come Google's own keyword tool. If you're selling financial services, you might put in financial services, financial products, home loans, different words that you think your customers might use, and then you'll start to see some results of how many searches are being done for those products and services within Google. obviously the higher number of searches, the more likely you are to focus on those words. So that's a good place to start, just to get a bit of a feel for what your customers are typing in. So in summary, search engine optimization is the process of using data or content in your site to increase your rank on Google. There's books you can buy online about it. You can just go onto Amazon as an example and buy great books on SEO. There are specialists you can use to do SEO for you. You can go to courses on how to do it. It's relatively simple, I should say, to use in its basic format. Use your keyword tool to understand your customer behaviour, and make sure that you get your metadata architecture right, i.e. your title tags, your meta descriptions, and your keywords in each page. Thanks very much.